Now picture this, you're in the market for a new vessel, but you don't know what to buy. You've now got a decision to make. Do you buy one of these, a boat, the Aussie trusted 4.8 metre aluminium tinny? Or do you buy one of these, a jet-powered fishing machine, a PWC, or in this case, a Sea-Doo Fish Pro? Now 5 years ago, this wasn't even a question. The features and tech on something like this, you couldn't even compare it to a boat that's been around for over 100 years. But in recent years, the R&D that's gone into these units has made it a genuine decision that you might need to consider when you're entering the market. Now, before we get into it, I should say that today's not about telling you which one of these vessels you need to buy. That's a completely subjective decision depending on your lifestyle. Where do you live? How often are you on the water? What activity do you like doing on the water? What's your storage facilities like? So what we're going to do today is run through the pros and cons of both of these vessels to hopefully help you make a decision. Let's be honest, if you owned that or that, are you really going to have a bad time on the water? Now, when it comes to storage, I am quite impressed with what they've been able to fit on what is a relatively small vessel. Up the front here, we've got this hatch that opens up, and I was surprised at how deep that hatch actually is. And you can fit pretty much whatever you want in here. You could put a big bag, your lunch. I've got a water bottle. In this case, I've got all my fishing tackle, and I've probably got 5 or 6 boxes in there, a bag of fishing gear, and it is waterproof, or watertight, I should say. In here, I've also got my phone, wallet, keys, the essentials, and it's all at my disposal. At the back, we have this cooler system, and you can use it for whatever you want, really. You could use it as a traditional cooler, put your ice in there, some drinks, your catch of the day, or you can use it as additional storage. And in the recent models, you can actually turn it into a live bait tank, which is pretty cool. It's got this pouch at the front for additional accessories, and then you've got rod holders either side. What I don't like about it, however, is whatever you decide to utilize this space for, you're pretty much locked in for the entire day. So if there's water in it, then it's no longer storage and vice versa. And if you do decide that you do need additional storage, then chances are you're probably going to have something like this, a waterproof bag, and wear it for the entire day. I don't know about you, that's just not something I want to do, particularly if I'm going fishing for multiple hours. Now, if we compare that to the boat, it's just not really a comparison. And for obvious reasons, this is a 4.8 metre boat. You just have so much more room. In terms of storage, we've got compartments, under deck storage. You've got the ability to run 100+ litre coolers. We've got gunnel storage, cup holders, rod holders, live bait tanks. I think this is an obvious one for everyone at home. The boat is just superior if you like taking lots of stuff. Extra fishing gear, raincoats, towels, lunch, you name it. But here's something to think about. Is having a lot of storage actually a good thing? You might be like me and just love options. You love having all the fishing kit you can possibly have on your boat. Or you might want to take that decision out of it and you're just happy with 1 or 2 rods, a bag of lures, your drink bottle, and your phone, wallet, and keys, and that's enough for you to enjoy your day. Now let's have a bit of a chat about technology and accessories. In other words, things that you can add to both of these units aftermarket. Now, I must admit, I am pretty impressed with what the guys and girls over at Sea-Doo have been able to fit on top of this Fish Pro. They've got a fish finder, they've got an infotainment display, and they've got little add-ons like rod holders, coolers at the back. The 2026 models even have an infotainment display well over 10 inches and fish finders well over 9 inches. But if we compare that to something like this, I've got 2 16-inch displays on that, as well as a bow-mounted electric motor, which is currently, quite conveniently too, I might add, just electrically anchoring me right there, hands-free. So if you take that as a bit of an example, it's just not even a question that a boat allows you to add a lot more than what a PWC does. And if you're a bit of a tech junkie like me, that could be a big consideration. Now, when it comes to fishing off a PWC, there is no doubting that these have been built for a specific purpose: fast fishing. Over the course of a day or a weekend, I can just cover more spots, more different areas, explore longer coastlines, purely to the fact of how quick this is compared to a boat. I can also go places which I would just never dare take my boat. Shallow sandbanks, shallow creeks, rocky outcrops, headlands, you name it. I can get out of trouble on this so much quicker than I can with a boat, and it also draws next to zero water. So I will take this places and explore areas that I never would have been able to do. Now, one of the things I do love about fishing off a PWC is how connected you feel to the place that you're fishing. You're so close to the water. I think that's a real bonus about getting in the outdoors. I go out in the outdoors to feel like I'm in the outdoors. But with that, obviously, is going to come rain and wind, and you're going to get wet, and it's just a part of being out in nature. So you could ask yourself, if comfort's something that you're looking for, this is not it. But if getting out in nature, in the elements, and experiencing what places like this kind of have to offer, this could be a really fun way to do it. Now, when it comes to space on a boat, you just have tons of it, which is why I love it. Starting with the fact that you can stand up. Getting that vantage point on a 360-degree casting platform is all the difference when casting lures in and around estuaries or for fish like snapper or barramundi. But what I really love about fishing on a boat is I can enjoy it with mates. I can fit 4 people on this boat and easily fish right up on the casting deck all the way back here. Now, can I do that on a PWC with one other friend? Absolutely. But is it the same? Not in my book. And one of the luxuries of fishing from a boat is technology, but not just the technology, it's the information that you get from that technology to help you when you're on the water. Fishing can be tough, so you need everything in your favor. And in my favor, I've got an active target pole. I've got a Lowrance 16-inch sounder with all the latest sonar capabilities, and I've got a trolling motor to keep me in position like I am right now, or sneak up on those fish. See this? A couple of hours ago, I was in waist deep water. The tide was up, it was all good, but now that tide's rapidly running out, which means I need to go with it. If I had a PWC, completely different story. I could fish and recreate here all day, but that's not the case. And there's a little bit more planning that goes into owning a boat. And if you're gonna buy one of these, then that's something you've got to get used to. Now, if you want to squeeze every second of your time when you're out on the water and you didn't catch any fish like me today, and it means you've got to be home in time for dinner, this is the option. It's quick, it's easy, and if you're time poor, it's much more convenient. A boat, on the other hand, well, that's a different story. Now, I know you might see all the flash photos and vision of a boat like this running around, but what they don't usually show you is the hidden costs and the hidden responsibilities that come with a boat. Storage, you need more of it, and it's usually a bit more expensive. Fuel, it takes a lot more of that. And towing it, well, you need a vehicle to be able to actually tow something like this. Whereas a PWC, you could tow it on a pretty small SUV. There's a lot of considerations that people don't show you when it comes to a boat. And not to mention, if you're flying solo, like I was today, you've got to pull this boat out with a little bit of wind and chop. It's not fun. But if you're chasing space, comfort, and technology and can accept the added costs and responsibilities, then you're a boatie. Let us know in the comments what your decision would be and why.